Staring at a blank screen? I have been staring at a blank screen. What am I doing? All right. Hello, everybody. I'm apparently completely thrown off. Um, how long have I been there doing that? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's script because it's kind of long, starting with Amanda. Go ahead and start us off with our cold reads.
Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We've crawled through the sewers of our clients. We've gotten Botox for our clients. We've walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with sophistication of enterprises and to cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay,
Let's go with Roddy.
Roddy, you're up next.
Hmm. Dang it. Okay, I'll have to deal with that. Running a multiple running a multiple concurrent clinical trial wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to fill the stretch of their leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at to work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Eh, Thankfully that was a cold read. Uh hmm. Michael. Carmichael specifically.
Okay, so I'm assuming that means me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work, to work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. All right. David, why don't you go ahead and give us a read?
Sure. Let me make sure everything is running. Turn on the camera. There we go. Um, Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We've gotten Botox for our clients. We've walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work, to work at the speed of startups, with the sophistication of enterprises and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Who has not been chosen? Um, how about Caitlin?
Trying to move all my stuff around over here. Tabs, get over here, double monitor. Oh, there we go. Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We've gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Okay. Let's see. Andrew.
All right, let's do it. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. All right, James.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial system. Try that again. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises, and to cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Where's our list? Who we got? Alex.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients, and it did work pretty well if I say so. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises. And cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Cassidy, your time has come.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. And let's go with Mr. Gray.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We've gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Alexander, enjoy.
Alexander has already read. So open to read are.
Oh gosh, apologies.
Looks like. Well, Beans, did you want to read with us too? Or were you just observing for today?
First time jumping on. I don't know if actually mic check.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Just making sure I got my equipment up and running for Discord. I'll give it a go.
Okay. Well, we'll put your name on the list.
Sorry. Looking for the list.
Yeah. Sorry. Let me go ahead and repost the list.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
No, it's cool. It's cool. All right. List going down. Okay. So open to read is McShapeshifter, voices by Michael, Johan, and Beans. So, Mr. Gray, one of them are open to read. Alex has already read.
Well, I'm very curious for Mr. Beans, and I love those as well. So please, sir, carry on.
All right. Well, I just got figured the mute button out. There we go. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups, with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
All right, you get to choose who goes after you. So there's 3 choices.
Johan.
Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Okay, now I nominate someone to read.
Yep, you got 2 choices, Mixed Shapeshifter or Voices by Michael.
Let's do Mixed Shapeshifter.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, wait. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups, with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
All right, well, last but certainly not least is Mike.
I am the only choice. You have to pick me. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We have crawled through sewers for our clients. We have gotten Botox for our clients. We have walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. We live and breathe this work. To work at the speed of startups, with the sophistication of enterprises, and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. So, executive decision time. With the amount of people that we have here, we are certainly going to have to cut the script down. So, I hope you all understand. But yeah, we definitely want to save on some extra time here, even though this is probably going to last a little while. If you do have time constraints or time concerns, please let us know, whether it's in the chat or out loud. We could probably shuffle things around a little bit to accommodate you a little bit more. But we want to make sure that everybody does have time to read and get a good breakdown. Okay, so let me go ahead and sort of do a little bit of my side editing to make sure that we have parity here. Come on, reconnect. Show up. Well, anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about this. When we break down microphone technique here on TMC, we usually use one of 2 terminologies, voice over or voice under. It's a really general term that we use here. It's not something that you're going to hear across the wide vastness of voiceover in general. But we use it here to sort of denote a general technique that you should have with your microphone. Voiceover is when you are up front and present on the microphone, when you are right up close to it, normal speaking distance. Of course, that's going to change depending on your mic. But it's where your voice is one of the main central figures in the script itself. Most oftentimes, that's for any kind of theatrical work. So things like animation, video games, certain things where your character is actually present in the scene, dubbing. Those kinds of things are voice over, where you're really upfront. Then the other term that we use is voice under, where you are sort of playing second fiddle to everything that's going on in front of you. You are trying to be the voice of the over the shoulder of the person who's viewing what you're seeing and trying to direct their attention to what it is that's going on in front of them. So, what kind of microphone technique should we use for this script? Voiceover or voice under? And this is where we're going to have all kinds of weird answers. We've already got voice middle from Alex. Thank you, Alex. That does not
This
exist.
I would say this is voice under. I'd
Voice
say this
under.
is going
Okay.
under a corporate slideshow of like an onboarding. Um, so yeah, 100% voice under.
Okay.
That completely changes my answer. Forgot that makes sense. Slideshow. I was about to say this feels like a radio spot. Then again, corporate,
It-
not necessarily radio specific. So
yeah. Yeah.
and yeah,
Okay.
slideshow. So yeah,
Okay.
voice under.
Voice under. Okay. Any other thoughts? And your reasonings for it?
Just want to add, maybe the way Alex read it, it could be voice over, and it's the character in a weird zany show, like presenting stuff to other characters.
It could, and the thing
But-
is I'm sure in the
He's announcing his nefarious plan.
and in certain situations that would be lots of fun. But this specifically is not asking for that. It's asking for you to sound confident and forward thinking. And we'll get into the whole tone breakdown and what we can even gather from the script, because unfortunately, there is no direction and we don't have any other context to it. All we know is that this is corporate narration. Does anybody know exactly what corporate narration is, what that entails?
I didn't speak up earlier, but what I envisioned was basically like a symposium or something, and they're playing this like promo video before speakers come out for a big Q&A or something like that. You know,
Ah,
that's kind of what I envisioned.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I thought more on the smaller scale of like a bit regular office meeting, something to
Okay.
play on the screen before they do a breakdown of like quarterly rates or something.
Mhm.
This is very similar to the sort of thing that I see at quarterly meetings for my day job, where they get everyone together all in one room and then they put up a big giant presentation, and they have someone just run through all of the cool things we did this year and where we're going from here.
Because we're awesome. As a company, we don't suck.
Personally, I think it's radio.
Radio? Okay.
That's what I get from it. Is kind of a radio image slot.
Okay. Okay.
I also kind of got it could be TV, but it would have one of those like animation styles where everybody's like circular.
Whiteboard.
Okay. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. That like weird Facebook style. Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
I can imagine it being like some sort of like not really a tutorial, but like more like a presentation, like along the lines of like a TED Talk.
All right. But nobody has quite answered the question of what is corporate narration. Do you guys know what corporate narration is? Like
Kind
that
of?
section of voiceover.
Isn't that anything that
Soulless.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Soulless.
I wasn't.
isn't that anything that a corporation uses internally?
Yes. Yes. This is usually business to business sales. So it's professionals presenting to other professionals. And normally, this kind of script is going to run parallel to serving other businesses your services. So, what I mean by that is this company, whichever company this is, because we still don't know even who the client is, so we're not even going to worry about that. But this company clearly runs a service that helps other businesses become more efficient. This is a business to business sales presentation where you are taking on the role of of the representative, of the business representative. So you are representing your client to other potential clients of theirs. This is most definitely going to be paired with visuals of some kind. This is voice under. You are going to be talking alongside of a presentation. So you
And like
want
really bland corporate music. Dun, 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 dun,
well,
me-
we're not even we don't even have to worry about that because as actors, we need to bring our own creativity to this script, and we still need to make it engaging. Um, Nobody wants to have their script to be so boring you stop listening to it. That's just not fun. That's not engaging. That's not going to help your client get more work. And if your client gets more work, you get more work from them. So it's a win-win situation. Um, so I would say treat this as a voice under script, knowing that you are going to be getting people to pay attention to what it is your client is going to be able to do for them. So that being said, let's talk about your character. Who is speaking in this script? How could you describe them?
Need someone who's just using we, an active member of that company of whomever is a part of that team who is in the nitty gritty of testing things out and getting things up and running, boots on the ground type thing. Um,
Okay.
Yep.
Kevin from
I
marketing.
feel like they're really straightforward. They're very passionate about what they do. And I feel like they're one of the higher ups. Maybe like a CEO or like a vice president.
Kevin from marketing.
Don't worry, Roddy. I've noted that down.
It
Like
could be a
they know
little
how to talk to people. They are master communicators.
Okay.
like maybe it's one of those like who's on the R&D team and like out of all of them they're the most plucky and sociable and can like is very passionate about it, and so they're like, we are going to select you to come tell everyone about this because you have your fingers in the pie and you can really just lay it on thick how great all of this is.
Okay.
I also think there's something to be said about it's not quite. It's a little bit more than corporate. Like the joke about the Botox. Like, who's getting Botox for a clinical trial unless you're like
right
in the trial? So there's something like funny about that I don't usually associate with corporate.
Yeah.
Funny is a subjective term here.
Right, but it still has some personality to it, and that's the thing that we need to pay attention to. There is no script out there that is not a character script. We just have to figure out who this character is, and they have their own drives, their own desires, their wants, their needs, things like that. They are in control of their own world here, and we need to find out who they are so we can step into those shoes. So, any other thoughts on who this could be? Who could be the one who's narrating right now? Something that I was thinking of is a business owner who has used this service. And then they decided to work with the company because it helped their business out so much. They're passionate about it. Yeah, it worked for me. I applied this. This worked. You guys need to take a look at this too. It will revolutionize your business. So somebody who has a personal stake in the outcome that your client is promising to give other people.
Yeah, that was similar to my thought, but instead of the person I was thinking of had a little more stake in this, that maybe they had used some of the other solutions that were out there already and none of them really did what they wanted to do. So they
Got
said,
it.
you know
So
what, forget this. We're going to hire a programming team and we're going to have them build the software the way we want it to work. And it works so awesome. We're going to buy the license and sell it to you guys.
so someone dissatisfied with other similar services.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they built what they feel to be the perfect system for them.
So who Elizabeth Smart thinks that she is.
Yes.
Okay.
Only with a lot less evil.
All right.
Well, it's
Any other
corporate, maybe
thoughts?
a little less evil.
All right. Any other thoughts on the character? Okay. Again, I hope you guys note something down for yourselves. I hope something that was said stuck out to you because, again, that's going to be part of what we want you to answer before you read, just so we know what your goals are. Marketer's 5-year child who's repeating all the things that he. Got it. So you're the proud kid talking the exact same talking points that your father did when he was practicing on you. Got it. Okay. I like it. Don't know if that would work in a corporate setting, but you're more than welcome to try. I have no idea what's going to land you the gig. Anyway, who is the audience? Who are we talking to?
I mean, it could be,
Uh,
I mean, if it's business to business, then, we're speaking to other businesses. Again, in my brain, it was this, as Amanda had put it, like TED Talk type thing. So it's many businesses. So you're trying to kind of, that's what's with all these weirdly specific examples to kind of show the broad stroke of the solutions that you bring to the table that they can apply to anyone, anytime, anywhere. So I'm picturing a room full of prospective clients and or, other businesses.
yeah, what
I'm
she
just
said. I was gonna say prospective clients.
I'm just thinking Shark Tank, so investors.
Okay. Okay. How else could we describe them?
I'd say that the prospects are more on the younger side and they don't like fully buy into corporate culture because there's quite a few things in the script that are basically like, and we aren't corporate culture. We're not the old folks. We are the new, the hip. We've gotten Botox for our clients.
Probably maybe it could be people who are there specifically because they're dissatisfied, kind of like James was saying, like they're dissatisfied with all the other options that they've been given. So they're like, all right, like we're going to put our eggs in this basket. Like, what do you have? So people who have been previously disappointed by other quote unquote solutions, or maybe even like startups, right? Because they mentioned startups, and maybe it's some startups and they're trying to put their best foot forward. So they want a clinical trial management system from the get go that's going to be super efficient and give them the sophistication of enterprises.
Okay. Our product is on fleek. Yes. Yes, because that term has been used very recently. Very recently. Any other thoughts on an audience? Skip it. What is going on in this chat? Okay. Um another thing is this sounds like so it talks about, a trial management system here. Um it seems like they're also talking to medical professionals. Or it's science professionals. I don't know, somebody in the STEM fields. That's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could interpret like the walked in their shoes to feel the stretch of the leather. I mean, obviously that'd be maybe, like workwear or something, but the crawl through the sewers, that's an interesting one. That one I I don't know what all goes on in all of those fields, so maybe I'm missing some context clues, but
Well,
Maybe they were
because
attempting to sell their product to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
exactly. Because we are not looking specifically at medical treatment like doctors. We're expanding to um, any part of medicine, pharmaceuticals, research. There may be things that need to be sampled from sewers in order to analyze them, and the phrase clinical trials is generally very specific to that sort of school.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Um, I don't know how much this adds into that, but I did work in a hospital right outside of college, and like, yeah, there is so much red tape and insurance stuff that you have to like sift through and wait and sit here and wait. So like the idea of talking to a room of people and being like, no, we can do this a lot faster than you have been doing, is a pretty big deal for a lot of different types of businesses. Like, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think we've got a good idea of who we are and why we're saying what we're saying. So let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of some of the main points, some of the main things that we're trying to say. If you could sum the entirety of this script up into one bite-sized phrase, one sentence, what would that summary be? How could you summarize the overall message of what you're saying?
We do clinical trials better.
Buy our service. Little too generic. That's not specifically what this is saying.
Our innovation in this field has allowed us to get things done faster while still being as accurate as you need.
Okay.
Answer company name, the zenith of our field.
Okay.
Our clinical trial management system was born from us solving our own problems, and we want to share our expedient, efficient solutions with you.
Okay. Okay. I still think buy our services were better. Still not quite thumbs up worthy, but okay, you can go ahead and give it the thumbs up if that's what you really feel.
It's to the point, it's efficient, you know what I mean? It just cuts through it, cuts down to the very bottom line, if you will.
See, the thing is then you get this soulless read, right? And that's something that you want to avoid because that's when you start sounding announcery. Like when you don't have an actual um, uh, motivation to what it is that you're saying, a reason to be speaking and a desire to communicate a message, then you just sound like a voice in a microphone.
Help us help you.
Help us
Help
you.
others.
Okay. Help us help you help the world.
We'll do anything for our clinical trial management system.
Anything?
Said like that, man. Okay. Beware of what you're offering to your client.
We help the world. We help our business.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, some of the things that I wanted to talk about were, and these are crossed out, but I think these are really important to talk about. So it mentions we live and breathe this work. This is towards the bottom. To work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises and cut through the noise. All right. So what is this? This is referring to startups because they're so small, compact, not a whole lot of people, and they have a kind of a more uninterrupted vision of what it is that they're doing. They usually work pretty quickly. But enterprises have had the experience of time to get every single process down pat and create solutions for all of the potential problems. So that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the best of both worlds to work at the speed of startups with the sophistication of enterprises. So I think that a lot of this is really worded quite specifically. Um, we also need to kind of denote the sort of setup and payoff of the issue or of what it is that's being offered. So running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we need to make sure that that is highlighted. It wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Again, I'm not in this field. I'm going to assume that since they put a number on it, 8 weeks is kind of impressive. You know, if you guys are familiar with the way the corporate world, especially research, works, then maybe you can enlighten me on this. But I'm going to assume that it's really good.
Very impressive.
Okay. So others have this technology, which means that what they're offering is not necessarily new or groundbreaking, right? Others have this technology and these crafts. So that's you saying that yes, other people can show you. We use the same systems, the same software that our competitors will use, but they don't have our mindset, and that's your big selling point. So it's your approach. Others have this technology, right? You're sort of conceding that point, and these crafts again, you're conceding that point, but they don't have our mindset. That is one of your biggest selling points right there. They have the tools, but we're the ones with the innovative minds. That's correct. That is what you're selling. And then, of course, we're removing them, but of course, we talk about specifically everything that you have done for previous clients to make sure that their products are really great. Yes, yes, exactly, Mr. Gray. You're selling yourself. That is exactly what this is doing. We live and breathe this work. That should be, that's kind of the major selling point there. Like that's really the crux of it. We live and breathe this work. That's what we do. So live and breathe require a little bit of, a little bit of flash, a little bit of panache, snaz, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm coming up with things. Please,
Riz.
somebody, Riz, yes, a little bit of Riz. Sprinkle the sauce on it.
I was going to say not too much,
No,
but
that's not how you use that word.
I remember seeing a Reddit thread about a bunch of dads specifically choosing ways that they embarrass their children, and one of their favorite things was to take a word that is pretty commonly used and completely use it out of context, like Uber. Seduce these small businesses. Look, hey, if you want to approach this that way, again, I don't know what's going to land you the job. Maybe going at it this completely sultry is absolutely going to sell it. But I mean, again, much like what Mr. Gray said earlier, is you're selling yourself. So, I mean, I'm not going to make any assumptions about you on that, but your performance might say a little bit more than you might want to let on. And cut through. So anyway, let's get to the last line, shall we? And cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. So you want to approach this like it says that they're confident and forward thinking. You are in control of this situation, so be in control. Now, I've done a lot of distracted talking here. Does anybody have any questions, comments, anything like that about what we've spoken on in this script, about any of the things that we've broken down? Okay.
That I can
Make sure
think of
you
at the moment.
Okay, no problem. Make sure you write down something. You note for yourself something on who you are, who specifically you're talking to, and what exactly you're saying. Like what's the reason you're selling this? Like give yourself as much information as you want to. On Saturday's session, this last Saturday session, one of the things that I told people or suggested was pulling up pictures. So like go onto Google and type in like pictures of something that could help you with this. Do anything that you can, particularly when you do not have direction. Do anything and everything that you can to give yourself all of the tools possible to make it. So that can include music, that can include pictures, that can include a video, that can include any kind of extra research. But give yourself as much as you can to work off of, because the less you do, the less convincing you're going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the reading order list up again. Yes, absolutely. Today's script is a total 180 from Saturday, in a sense. The character that you're playing as is a total 180 from Saturday. But
You did say we're skipping the red lines, right?
that is correct. We
Okay.
are skipping the red lines. We are not going to be reading the red lines. So, directed reads. Let me go over our 2 rules for those who haven't been with us before. I remembered. 3 rules. Excuse me. Let me go over our 3 rules. So, in terms of the feedback, we want to, first off, I'm wasting a whole lot of time by doing a lot of explaining, but you know what? It must be done. We have 3 main rules that we stick to whenever we're doing these, whenever we're doing the directed portion of the workout. These rules were named after previous or current attendees to the workouts, so that will explain their names. There is the Dan rule, the Nephilim rule, and the Alex rule. So the Dan rule states that when you are up to read, you do not critique your own performance. When you go up to read, you leave the critique to your directors, which is going to be the rest of us. You can ask questions, you can ask for clarification, you can ask for meaning. So, like, if I understood you correctly, you thought this about my read, but you are not allowed to critique your own performance. There's multiple reasons for that. I can get into those later, but we're not going to worry about that too far. The Nephilim rule is similar to that. Do not apologize for your reads before, during, or after. We don't care about your setup right now or anything like that. If you're here to work out with us, we care about your performance. So, and on top of that, mess ups happen. That's why there's editing. And the final rule is the Alex rule, which is energy is a bad word and you should never use it in direction. Energy is a meaningless term that does not apply to anything voiceover. There are specific times and places where you can use the word, but if you tell somebody that they need to give you more or less or a different energy, you have essentially told them to do nothing and you have wasted your time in giving them that kind of feedback. Give them something specific. Yes, we do have reactions for it as well. Give people something specific to work off of. It'll help everybody. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start up the reads with Amanda.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, I'm going to open it up. What did y'all think of that read?
Did I miss what character Amanda was going for? Or did she just not say it?
You absolutely missed what she was going for because she did not mention what her choices were beforehand.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot we're
what-
supposed to do that.
That's okay. That feedback on that. We'll see if we got close to what you were going for.
Glad y'all said that because now I have that noted. Yay! Thanks, Amanda.
All right. Any thoughts on that read? Okay,
For
I'll go.
me?
So corporate narration is not really your thing, right, Amanda?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I don't have much
So
practice in that.
well, the thing is again, it's just the kind of character that you're choosing. It's not necessarily like where it's going to be used. There's no special technique for corporate narration versus theatrical narration. It's all about the character that you approach this as. So I didn't feel like you gave us that much of a character. It felt more like it was a read. It was a good read, but it was just a read. So who are you? Who is your character? Let's know let's hear your choices.
Well, I have an idea of what my character should be, but I never really know how to execute it. All I know is that they're very forward, they're very professional, they're a master communicator, and they're very passionate about their craft. They know how to talk to a group of people. They're basically giving a presentation.
Okay. How big is the presentation?
Well, I can imagine like not too big. I can imagine it being
Okay.
like
Set answers. Remember, what are your choices? How big is it?
just big enough to fill the entire office space.
Okay. Okay. And then who are you for this company? What's your job
Like
title?
the CEO, like one of the higher ups.
Okay, so you're a confident professional.
Hmm.
Okay. Then let's hear that.
Okay. Running multiple concurrent Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, opening it up. What did you all think of that read?
I felt more of the CEO vibe, especially like and I mean, obviously I can see you, but even if I couldn't see you, I felt that hand gesture and that's very corporate, very like I've studied body language and like this is what I'm doing to try to like, really engage with you and everything. So, more CEO vibes. It was more engaging, I think, than the first one. The first one was, of course, kind and pleasant and everything, but I felt like this one there was more personal investment in it. You know, so you definitely elevated that element of it for me.
Thank you. I'm glad you picked that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Chris. It definitely felt more like there was a purpose in mind.
Personally, I would like to hear the intro as more of a victory speech, just a little bit more of this is presenting the highlights of your business. This is this is probably not like the defining moment for your business. This is a big victory from the last year or so. Um, I would like to hear that in your voice. And then when you get to the rest of it, you're saying why you personally are the perfect choice for anything that these people want to do. Not even your company. You personally. They don't have your mindset. You want to sell them on that.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, let's try it.
Last little bit, slow it down just a bit. You're moving really fast through it.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. How was that read?
One thing that stood out to me that if we do another take, I would personally like to see is the solve the problem in 8 weeks. Be like solve the problem in 8 weeks. Like really dramatize that, right? Like if you're the CEO, like you are so impressed that that was the timeline. Like, yeah, bet you never heard that timeline before, kind of thing. Like not not even a humble brag, just straight up brag. That's what I would just punch that up a little bit more.
In 8 weeks. You're welcome.
Here's the other thing, though. You're consistently hitting "we" really hard after the comma. You don't need to do that. It
Okay.
doesn't make any sense to hit "we." So we built a clinical trial management system. Clinical trial management system. That is your accomplishment. That is what you made. So we
Mm.
built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks.
Ah, gotcha.
Right? That is what we did.
Right.
This was the outcome. So that is our selling point, leads into others have this technology and these crafts. What the? Ah, my English is so bad today, apparently. And these
No, I get it.
crafts, but they don't have our mindset, right? You're setting up the sales.
Okay.
So clinical trial management system is more important than we.
Okay. Running multiple concurrent trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Thoughts?
Concurrent.
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 We developed a critical management system in 8 weeks.
Also, a little bit too much emphasis on the 8 weeks that time.
in 8 weeks.
So we got
Running
from
multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks.
there you go.
Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. To get you up and running fast.
I don't even think you need to do the retake. I think what you gave before was fine after the fixes. But yeah, be really careful. Running multiple concurrent.
Concurrent. Okay.
No
Running
con.
multiple
No,
No
yeah, no
con.
con. In fact, just get rid of the O. It doesn't exist.
concurrent.
Concurrent.
Concurrent. Running multiple concurrent trials. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
It's concurrent. Emphasis on the second syllable.
Concurrent. That
There
was
you
that
go.
was I was still saying
You were
concurrent,
still saying
concurrent.
concurrent.
Yeah, concurrent. So emphasis on second syllable. Thank you for bringing that up,
Running
Cass.
multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't
There you go.
working.
All right.
So
Perfect.
we
Yeah,
built
Yeah.
clinical.
yeah, we're good.
There we
We're good.
go.
We got some good reads from you, and we got concurrent fixed. Um,
Okay.
Overall, though, with one of your last full run throughs, I can't remember which one it was because you gave us a few rapid fire there. Um, but one of your last ones actually, I think, had all the elements that you were trying to go for, and it was a very solidly put together read.
Thank you. I'm
So
glad I was on the right track.
yeah, just in the future, you got to give us some time to be able to give you to give you some feedback in between. So just running right through them multiple times doesn't help us do that for you. So
Oh,
calm it down a little bit.
my
We're
bad.
here to help you.
My
But
bad.
no problem, no problem. But again, you actually gave us a really solid read. I'm happy with what we got, and I think we can go ahead and move along
Thank you.
to Roddy,
I
who
apologize for
is
my impulsiveness.
no worries, no worries. Ah, you are in the Roddy comes slowly rising into frame. All right, whenever you're ready, go for it.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
let's see what you
hello. My name is Andrew from the field testing team. I just transferred from a rival company about 6 months ago. And so far, I think this company is performing way better than how it was over there. I.e., yeah, that's what I'm going for. And here is how I would like to present that. Running multiple concurrent running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, now that Roddy's got the headphones on, what do you guys think? From Twitch chat, is Andrew chill? Because he sounds chill.
Confident in his work, doesn't need to overboast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think there's a level of engagement that you need to have as a professional. Andrew, what does sorry what where in the company does Andrew work? What division?
the division. He is an assistant in the research department.
He's an assistant in the research department. Okay. Um, did he come in after this management system was put together, or did he help put this management system together?
He helped put this management system together about 4 months back.
Okay. So the thing is you are very calm and direct to the point about what you're saying, but there does need to be some kind of excitement from you. This is your project. It came to fruition. And not only that, it has incredible success. And now you get the opportunity to show other people that success.
Okay.
So show other people your success. Whenever you're ready, let's hear that read.
So before, show more engagement.
Yeah, you need to be. This is you able to talk about your grand success.
Okay.
So, yeah, you need to be engaged. This is your opportunity.
Gotcha. Running multiple concurrent yeah, running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. What did you guys think of that read?
I want live and breathe as a singular phrase, not broken up. I heard we live and breathe this work. I would like for it to be the stop and start can be at before live, after breathe. I think that'll make it flow a lot better.
Yeah, and from Twitch chat, I got the exact same thing. Give me a smirk on fast. Get you up and running fast.
Gotcha. That was all.
That's it. Go for it.
Yeah. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
I really like that read as a whole. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I do. I feel like I really trust you. I definitely hear the passion in your voice. It's definitely a marked improvement from your first read. I liked it.
Agreed.
Andrew's too cool to be an R&D.
Yeah, he's like, there is no pretense in his read, you know?
Yeah. See, one of the things that really helped us out, Roddy, is you started off with a really, really strong choice for your character. Like you really dove in head first with that character, particularly since you introduced yourself as the character. Always good, that's always a good way to approach it. I can't English today. I'm very, very sorry. I don't.
Yeah.
I only know Spanish poorly, and for some reason, my native language, I just can't seem to speak today. But starting off your read with a strong character decision is really, really helpful, and I think that really, really gave you a very solid foundation for building off the reads. Because as you noticed, most of the direction that we gave you was really minor. It was just these tiny little things to sort of nudge you in the right direction, and that's because you were already headed mostly there.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any critiques, anything they'd like to hear differently from Roddy? Okay, we'll have the pirate read later. But for now, we'll go ahead and move it right along to me. So, I'm a researcher who was put in charge of multiple concurrent trials in the past, and it was just an absolute disaster. So, in wanting to help my fellow researchers get more out of their time, I wanted to put together a company, put all of our heads together to create a management system that could just really, really, really solve that problem, to bring down the complexity and all that stuff to basically nothing. Something that you can access on just one computer screen, get all the information that you need, and just knock it out of the park. And we've done that with things that are available to you very, very easily. So that's my character, and I am speaking to other researchers. Yeah, we tried that, but running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Yeah, opening it up.
I personally feel like as a researcher talking to other researchers, there'd be a little bit more understood like passion and excitement about what this is. Like this is kind of like revolutionary from problems that you faced in the past, right? So you're providing them like this is the answer to our problems. Like I feel like there should be a little bit more and I know it's corporate, but there should be a little bit more like geeking outness, amongst other
Okay.
peers,
Okay.
like there should be a not childlike excitement, but you know what I hope you see where I'm going there. Like it sounded
Enthusiasm?
yeah, thank you. Too long didn't read. I need
Okay.
always someone to do that for me. Thank you.
More enthusiasm. Okay. Okay.
TLDR, more
Yeah.
energy. Um, I want to hear a
Alex,
clearer
I swear you
contrast.
already have a rule.
A clearer contrast between emotions in the course of the first line. I want to
Okay.
hear more frustration with the trials not working, and then more victorious as you solve the problem.
Okay. Okay.
Well said. Yeah, that's yes. 100%. Take us on a journey, a corporate journey.
A corporate journey. Well, don't let corporate fool you. I mean, every script is a character script. So, okay, if that's what you need to hear, all right, I can make that professional. Anything else?
I completely forgot that lead-ins were a thing, so good job on that one.
Lead-ins are a thing.
The we live and breathe this work again. Like I kind of based on your prompt, like your story, the we live and breathe this work. It's like you're talking to the troops and trying to inspire them. Like yes, like right, like we live and breathe this work. Like that just really elicit some emotion from them as well. Like you're having these cool emotions about it, and excitement and enthusiasm. Now rope them into it and elicit that from them too.
All right. No, we get it. Running multiple concurrent trials wasn't working. So we built a clinic. No, we get it. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I felt like you applied exactly. Yeah, you took the direction very well.
This is clinical trial, sir.
To take our technology, take our mindset. Yeah.
Oh, this is
Probably
epic.
could have been could have had a little more frustration at the beginning.
A little more frustration at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
All
you're
right.
having like some flashbacks of those multiple concurrent clinical trials, like running multiple clinical trials wasn't working. Like, whoa.
Okay. All right. No, yeah. Yeah. We were there too. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Okay, did that have more emotional contrast to it?
I feel like there could still be more in the beginning there. Like
Oh,
it
okay.
just
Yeah.
to me personally, I mean, unless I'm taking it too overboard in my head, but I feel like there could be like maybe it is too much, but even like running multiple concurrent trials wasn't work. Like a breathiness to that is that that could be too much. But in my head, that's where I'm wanting it to go.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, with this researcher, is the researcher like very emotional with his colleagues, or is he more strict? Like, is he more of a leader in trying to get things done? Because someone who might be an underling might be much more emotional about it, might be more expressive, might be more jumping all over the place with discoveries. Like, guys, look at this! I just got something. But if it's a leader, you're going to want less of that emotion and more of just trying to put the facts there to get people to unify. So it depends on which one you're going for. And if you're going for a unifying one, a leader, then you're going to put more emotion to it, but not springboard motion. You're trying to explain to them why they should be excited and put a little bit of emotion into it so that they can get a taste of it, but not eat the whole plate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. The thing
That's my
is
perspective.
since this is a professional to professional, business to business sales script, um, going that far into the emotional realm, like being that emotionally expressive, might come off as unprofessional, which is not what we want in something like this. Um, you do have to strike a balance between being your character feeling something, but you also wanting to maintain a professional and approachable um, uh, presence with your audience. So but to answer your question more specifically, um, my character is one of the researchers, not necessarily the main researcher. Although I don't believe that in this um, particular setting there would be like a main researcher on something like this. I think you would just gather up everybody that you need to do this kind of project. Um, I mean, if you guys would like to hear something that's a little bit more emotionally contrasted, I can. We'll see if that does what you guys are looking for. But we might be moving away from a professional presentation at that point.
I honestly think that you did hit it, especially like with the read previous to that, but again, I think maybe in my imagination it was moving a little bit further away from that's why I put that kind of disclaimer like, well, it is like corporate audition, maybe that's taking it too far. So, I think you did land, your target thus far, but um I didn't know if you wanted to venture a little bit further away from there. So, there we go.
Board game me. What? Oh, talk to someone like you're telling them about board games. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll give it one last read and then we'll move along for time's sake. No, listen. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
That one seemed pretty good. I like that. Yeah.
Love it. No notes.
Yep. Yep.
Whoever the board game guy, whoever that was, very good recommendation.
Oh, that's my wife. She's over in the other room.
Just hear her yelling in the background.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious what
Thank you,
motivates me.
Andrew's
if
wife. Or Michael's
couldn't
wife,
tell.
excuse me. Sorry, no, wrong. I forgot the names here. Pack it and ship it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
And like I was saying with the springboard idea, of course that's a metaphorical representation, but by putting it into more of a childish perspective, like we were mentioning before, it allows you to get more of that fascination out. If you are very corporate, you don't have that much room to allow for this fascination. At that point, maybe you're more focused on getting the money through. But in this case, you're trying to unify people, and by allowing you to allow yourself that fascination, the room for fascination rather, you open the door to more discovery and more pride in your work, and then you are able to immediately just ship that to other people because you are already feeling that. You don't have to try to feel that way. You already do feel that way. And that's what I heard there. You weren't trying, you just were. You were sharing people your experience that you're passionate about. And that's where I feel like that really picked up.
Yeah, well, I mean, drawing on one's own experiences, particularly things that you're passionate about, always helps transform your reads. So, we're going to go ahead and move along, though, to David. David, whenever you're ready, go ahead and give us a read. Or first, let us know your choices, then give us a
Sure,
read.
yeah. So, sorry, I'm going with an MLM presenter or an MLM marketer. I would like to keep this at sort of this is the pitch at the coffee shop, not necessarily like the marketing meeting that people paid a lot of money for. It's on my brain. Anyway. So yes, that's where I am going. So like the MLM pitch at a coffee shop. Running multiple concurrent trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
All right, opening it up. What did you all think?
Describe your approach again. Just for one more time. Just make sure I got it.
MLM, so like LuLaRoe or doTERRA, any of those.
LuLaRoe.
Yeah. But at like, you've gone past the hey hun point to meeting at a coffee shop. So you're like, no, yeah, you got to try this product. It's your life.
Okay. Okay. So it's a more like intimate conversation type thing. Like, yeah, you're not speaking to a large group of people. Like you are one-on-one with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
get,
mean, I definitely got I got that vibe, especially like, others have this technology in these crowds, but they don't have our mindset, like, yeah, there was definitely like a hoink, kind of feel there. Um, I was trying, dang it. I forgot what it was. I'm sorry. So kudos. There was something I was going to say, but I don't remember what it was. So I'm just going to mute myself.
You were so distracted by figuring that out. It just. Go ahead, Roddy. What were you going to say?
Felt like you were reading through it too fast.
Yep.
Okay.
Took your time a bit more.
Do you care about the person you're talking to?
As you say it, no, but I'm sitting here thinking in my head that I should, but
Yeah, you should, because
Yeah.
that was one of the main things that I got from the read. Again, it was a rote presentation.
Mhm.
It was a solid read, a technical read, meaning there was no major flub ups, there was no mess ups. You went from one thing to the next to the next, but I didn't get any connection with an audience. You
Mm,
weren't talking to anybody. You were simply stating your case.
Okay.
And look, the whole MLM thing can work. Like, don't get me
Mm.
wrong. I don't. I mean, you said it was just most recently on your mind. Did you have one of these experiences recently?
No, I just
Okay.
watch a lot of TV and podcasts.
Okay. Okay. So generally, what do you feel about MLMs? Do you care? Are they? Do you not like them? Do you like
No, I
them?
don't like them. I don't like them.
Okay, so then I think that's a really bad place to start from because you
Okay.
already do not enjoy the subject you're talking about. If you're taking
Okay.
this as an MLM pitch, then it's going to sound like you hate the product. And
Mm.
imagine imagine the person who's casting for this, who works for the company, listening to that, and being like, "Wow, do they hate us or something?" Like, uh,
Okay.
so no, what is something in your life that you're really passionate about, that you really like talking to other people about? Like, if you ever get the opportunity to discuss with someone, you're like, I'm into this conversation 100%. Or, hey, I didn't know you were into that either.
That's a okay. That's a good question. Sorry, I know I have stuff. I'm just like,
I put you on the spot. That's what it is.
yeah, I know. It's like, oh my
So,
god,
wait, I have a personality. I swear.
Legos,
Trust
talking,
me.
paintings, museum,
Yeah,
something.
yeah. No, seriously though, is it gaming? Like me, it's board games. Like that. This is
Mhm.
100% my thing. If you couldn't tell,
Yeah.
I recently got my 100th. It's sitting, I think, behind my head. But yeah, like for me, it's board games. For other people, it's music. For others, it was computers.
Mm.
For others, it's generally gaming. For some people, it's watching movies. Like what is something that when you like, um, if you passed somebody on the street and they were at like a restaurant or something and they were talking about this thing and it caught your ear, would be like, holy crap, they're into that too? No
Mm.
way. What is that
Okay.
thing for you?
I guess
Or
part of it is that
one of the
part of it
things?
is that like my brain right now is going into this place of like I just read a book on the history of Versailles, so I don't know
Okay,
how
okay.
I would even
It doesn't
use
matter.
that. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like if that's
Mm.
what's interesting your brain right now, that's what matters.
Okay.
How you tie it in doesn't matter.
Okay.
Maybe look, maybe you're passing by somebody, they're like, "Yeah, I recently visited Versailles and I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. Like all of the stuff that I saw there was incredible." And maybe that could be the pitch, right? But the thing
Mm.
is you're currently feeling, you know, interested about that, right?
Mhm.
Okay. That interest, that engagement that you feel about talking about that, about reviewing the book that you recently read, should be what we hear from you on this.
Okay.
It's that kind of feel.
All right.
So get into that. Think of that. Feel those emotions, and then go ahead and give us a read.
Sure. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Emotionally, how are you feeling through that whole thing?
Calmer,
Calmer?
a little bit more engaged with the subject matter.
You sounded like it. Like your mindset was a direct reflection of how you sounded during your read.
Okay.
So the fact that you tapped into that and you were able to communicate that, really well done. My one major piece of feedback to you would
Mm.
be the person you're talking to is really interested because you and you and this other person both just recently finished this book and now you're sitting down to talk about it. So all the little points and pieces that you want to go over, like they know about it too. So they're engaged with you. Right? I want you to see whoever you're talking to reacting positively to you. And then just slow your pace down a little bit. And I think you'll be
Okay.
right where you need to be.
All right,
Go ahead. From the top.
sure. Oh, it keeps disappearing. Sorry. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials weren't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Now I'm going to open it up to everybody else. What did you guys think of that read?
I feel like the transition between and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset was really good there because it kind of like it cut them off because it's like, okay, we understand that this is our competition, but and then try to propose that their proposition is better, their technology is better, etc. Now, I will admit though, the last two lines, it feel like you went through them a little fast. I don't know if y'all want to comment on that, but I feel like it was a little bit rushed through in a way. Maybe. I think other people commenting would help kind of solidify that.
Okay.
Well,
Anybody
my
else?
my comment was going to be actually maybe even kind of the opposite of on the other side, this technology and these crafts. I feel like a good pause right before, but they don't have our mindset. It's good for separating those ideas and really distinguishing that idea. You want that to stand out. You don't want to be lumped in with the others have technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. You want that to stand out because you want yourself and your company to stand out. So again, a pregnant pause right there would be my suggestion. And yes, I feel like the last 2 lines, 3 lines were a little bit quicker. Just very intentionally slow that down. If you think you're going slow,
Mm,
go a little bit slower. It may sound it may feel dramatic, but I think that would help with the delivery a lot.
Okay.
I actually will agree with that. The first part, having a pause, now that I think about it, because if you try to kind of cut the other idea off, it kind of makes it like almost like you're panicked, like you're trying to shy away from those ideas and push yours out more. But by pausing it, it lets them think about that. But then once you start proposing yours, it's like, but wait, this is ours. And rather than making it panicked, which makes you sound or inconfident or whatever, then by adding the pause, you sound more confident because you feel like or excuse me, it gives the idea off that, hey, we know this, but we're confident enough to let you accept these as the possibilities, but also ship ours because we think it's better. We think that you will appreciate this more than you appreciate the others. So by giving that pause, you kind of give off that confidence because you're not afraid to show the competition.
Oh, with what everyone else said, everything can be a little bit slower, and when we rush crafts into but they, um, if someone isn't following along like we all are, then they may actually lose little bit of the concept there. So take your time and give some pauses.
Okay. Yeah, you essentially have 3 sections of this script. So you have the opening sentence and then the next 2 lines. So running multiple concurrent clinical trials, others have this technology and these crafts. Pause, a little bit of dramatic flair, but they don't have our mindset. That's your key selling point. Pause a little bit afterwards and expound on that. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. Do you see that flow? Do you see how that
Yeah.
works?
Yes.
Go ahead and give us one more read
Sure.
from the top.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Emotionally, how are you feeling through the whole thing?
I'm again a lot calmer. I think a lot of the speeding up was like nerves, running through
Yeah.
motor.
Of course. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
to be expected. Have you
Yeah.
read much in front of other people before?
No, usually with just a coach or when I'm preparing auditions myself.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, the whole speeding up when you're nervous is something that I can painfully relate to, especially if I'm put on the spot, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta impress them, you know? Here's my
Mhm.
chance, you know?
Yeah, especially when somebody's asking you a whole bunch of questions that I expect an answer to right here and now in front of the entire group.
It's like your
So I
time. It's
understand
like,
that. But here's
yeah.
the thing. Here's the thing. The more you calm down and the more you connected with what it is you were wanting to say, and the more you connected with who you were talking to, the better it sounded.
Yep.
And honestly, we got some really solid reads out of you. So
Awesome.
congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we'll go ahead and move along to Caitlin.
All right, let me cover y'all's faces up and my face so I'm not distracted. Okay. My water bottle. Oh, so my approach. um, I'm a, I don't know why I use the word plucky, but I'm a plucky person from research and development who's one of the more sociable, articulate, and passionate about the work that the company's doing. I was chosen, from the whole team to really authentically describe and present what the company does. I'm someone who's gone through these trials. I've been here since the beginning. I was brought in by some of the higher ups to help with some presentations, bits of the presentations at like symposiums or conferences or trade shows featuring other similar technologies and companies from startups to enterprises. And the room that I'm speaking to, what I'm envisioning is a relatively large room, like 100 to 200 folks. Now, that's the capacity. Don't know if it's full, but that's kind of setting the stage of where I'm at. So, okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, opening it up. What do you guys think? I wonder if you have the same feedback I do.
Hmm. I think that the last word was on the point. It was a little fast.
See what you did there, Andrew. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll agree with Twitch chat. It was a safe read. I don't think you made as many choices as you could have for the character.
Okay.
See, one of the things that surprised me is that you didn't fully build out your scene. You didn't know how
Explain.
many people you were even talking to. You just knew you were talking in a big room. How does that help you?
Okay, to be fair, what I have written here, it says speaking to a relatively large room, 100 to 200 folks is exactly what it says. I don't know why I decided to dice that up into ambiguity whenever I described it, but that was the original thought. So I guess
Okay.
I backpedaled on
You
my
did.
original choice.
You did. Although I like I like Alex's answer down over here. 135 people exactly.
I
You
like all those
counted all
numbers.
of them.
Yeah, well, I'm an R&D, numbers. I like numbers, I guess.
Exactly. Exactly. Too bad Science Mike isn't here right now because then he would. Well, I mean, we do have another well-educated Mike here as well, but
So many mics.
I know, right? Too bad I don't have a different, more interesting name. But we yeah, the thing is chopping that up made your read a little bit more generic. Like
Okay.
you gave the little like the breath at the end before fast, but I don't know, it just didn't really have
The panache?
yeah, it didn't have the engagement going that I really think you could have given it.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
If I may, I believe that a little bit of physical representation, like an actor would help. The reason being is that whenever you are physically moving around, your physical movements and your gestures and things like that can affect your voice in a subconscious way. I always catch myself doing better whenever I am physically acting out something, whether it be an aggressive stance or a happy stance, a sad stance, any kind of emotion is typically better whenever I have a scene, which you have, which is great, but also being able to physically interact with this this uh, mind environment, if you were to call it that. So what I could recommend
Theater of the
is,
mind.
yeah, that works. So maybe do a little bit head swivel, like you're looking at a large crowd of 135 people. Imagine that they're all sitting in chairs. They all have their legs crossed with some pieces of paper writing down some notes. And sell it to them knowing that they're going to be paying attention but also writing notes. You want to make sure that you sell the points correctly. And so, yeah, so you're going to be needing to make sure you really you emphasize the right spots. I don't know if anybody wants to comment on that.
That's a good note from Twitch chat. You're giving a TED talk.
So the way I picture it, or the way I was trying to picture it, right? Like I'm on stage and like the CEOs are out there and it's like blah 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 blah. These things are going on, and like here's Caitlin from R&D, and this is not my normal, avenue of. I'm not usually in front of the crowd, right? But because of my passion for it, they're like, we got to get this person up here, we got to get her up here, to really like give this non-schmoozy CEO passion, right? Like a different flavor. So, but yeah, okay. All good notes, all good notes.
I like
Anything
how
else?
you muted. I was going to say just go into another read.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, hold on. Got to move this up so I don't see it. Okay. Just kidding. Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Love it. You had me totally invested. Probably the best read of the night, in my opinion.
You're gonna make my cheeks so red. They're already red.
But it's true, Caitlin. You did great.
Thank you.
Before I say this is not a negative thing. I just want to point this out. Whenever in the beginning, whenever you're reading it, I do notice that the physical interactions, like I said, they subconsciously affect how you say things. And with a worried face almost in the beginning, you had a worried tone. Not a bad thing, just pointing it out because without the physical movement, you probably wouldn't have had that tone. But because you're doing the physical emotion, you can hear it. And that right there is a great point of proof that physical movements is a great thing to have when it comes to voice acting. Doesn't matter if you're an actor, doesn't matter if you're a voice actor, physical movements help.
Well, yeah, voice actors are actors too.
Okay, fair enough.
Thing is, Caitlin, I'm really sorry, but I actually genuinely disliked that read.
Shots fired.
Like I'm gonna go ahead and just be the contrarian here. I
No,
really
that's
dislike that read.
okay.
It's
It's
because
okay.
it didn't have confidence and forward thinking.
Okay.
You were really
Okay.
uncomfortable throughout that read. You sounded really uncomfortable throughout that read.
Okay.
Yes, you can. I don't. That's fine. That's fine. Carissa just walked into the room and is now staring me down, just off camera.
She knows it all. Sorry.
Yes, she knows it all. Yeah, no, I think you almost entirely got rid of the confidence that you're supposed to have here. This is your presentation. This is your time. This is your triumph. And I heard an uncomfortable person on stage talking to a faceless crowd.
Okay.
So you gave me a scene. Don't get me wrong. You painted a scene. I just think it was the wrong one that this is looking for.
Okay.
This needs to be much more triumphant.
Okay.
I honestly thought that was on purpose because she said that had never that her character wasn't used to giving these talks. That this was
Yeah,
the
that was
CEO
It
called
can
her
be on
up.
purpose, but it's
But-
purposefully wrong.
Well,
Yeah,
and they brought me in because of my passion, and like the passion should override that. You know what I mean? Like I understand the importance
but
of it, and
but here's the
so
thing. Here's the thing. Now what you're doing is you're layering all this other stuff on top of it, that's muddling up your main message. They
okay,
brought
yeah,
you in because of your because of your passion, but you're not somebody who normally presents things, so you feel uncomfortable. You see, you're starting to really overcomplicate this character.
okay, yeah,
So
okay,
small boardroom, they're just a bunch of people around a table. This is your area of expertise, and
okay,
this is a cool opportunity for you to put it in front of some really important people.
okay,
Let's hear that.
okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Now, you see, that was a professional business presentation.
Thank you,
That was
Yeah,
a
There's the
more
Todd.
that is a
confidence.
encouraging
marked
read.
improvement.
There's the
Yeah,
confidence.
Yeah, you see,
I really, really like it.
Caitlin, you're naturally really good at getting into the scenes. That's what I've noticed from the time that you've been practicing with us. When you have a scene in mind, you're naturally really good at getting into it, and you can see that. I think you were over engineering your scene for this, and you were giving your character just too many layers, and you were stripping away the simplicity that we really needed for this read, which was this is your opportunity to share your triumph in front of really important people. You did that,
Yeah.
and this last read was much better for it. Again, this is supposed to be a corporate sales script. You need to have confidence. You need to be able to put yourself forward as though you're an absolute winner and worth every single second of time you can wrench from these people's cold, greedy hands, right? So, um, put yourself forward. And well, you put yourself forward on this one. Sorry, I'm kind of distracted here because I'm also reading chat at the same time, which I shouldn't be doing. But much better. I really like this read. I think we're safe to move on now.
Bueno,
What does everybody else
muchas
think?
gracias.
De nada.
Igualmente.
Absolutamente, no problema. Okay, up next
You've
is
moved past my threshold. Bye.
Andrew. You are up.
Hola. Muchas gracias.
It's your time, country boy.
All right. All right. So my character, I am a biomedical engineer who is who loves this product. This product has saved him so much time since the techie people invented it for him at his company. And he is at a convention, and he is delivering this to 442 people out in the audience. And which, if you're wondering, is in fact the number of biomedical engineers in the state of Tennessee. So let's do it. Yeah, running multiple concurrent clinical trials just wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, opening it up. What do you guys think of that read?
I personally think that was a pretty solid first read. I will say one thing that I want to hone in on is I liked the attitude with which you said others have this technology and these crafts. Like that was like, yeah, like they got it, but and then you really punched in but they don't have our mindset. Like it felt as weird as this is. That felt very corporate. That felt pretty TED Talkish to me, right? Like, oh, they got the but, kind of thing. if that my miming makes sense.
Definitely agree on that part. I think the first two lines um, were too stuttery for me. Those could be smoothed out, especially the way that you added in just, but you had it as just like it was just the JST. Um, if you're going to add just, clinical trials just wasn't working. Not it wasn't working.
Yeah, because
You're not one
that
Hekasock.
Boy.
yeah, no, that communicates discomfort. It communicates unsurety. It communicates a lack of confidence. Also, I would be really reticent, and this is one of the few times that I would say this. Yeah, if you are going to do some ad-libbing, make sure it's professional and make sure it's a professional sound. But I would be reticent to do that in a corporate narration script because, again, legal reasons. Sometimes, like even these jokes and everything that are added into this need to be approved by legal, right? Like there is a legal reason why these are the way that they are. So I would just say be cautious about how much you do that. And if you do that, or if you do decide to ad lib, please be confident with the ad lib because this is to professionals. But yeah, I agree with what Alex said. You're too stumbly at the very beginning.
All right. Those are hard words to say. All right, let's do it. Any other feedback? So more, if I understand it, more of the, yeah, others have this technology, and then smooth out the beginning. Are those the two? All right, cool.
I wouldn't say more of the first point, just keep it.
Oh, just keep it? All right. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in just 8 weeks. Yeah, others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
My one bit of feedback, which is really nitpicky, would be do not put as much of a break in between live and breathe this work and cut through the noise. I think you can safely run those together and it would still sound good.
All right.
But that's really nitpicky. I'm going to open
I'm
it up.
here
What
for
did
the
you guys
nitpick.
think of that performance altogether?
From how I heard this one, we live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running. These are your tonal shift moments in your script. I believe I believe you can play this up just a smidge, because this is going to be your sales point to the crowd of how many people?
Or
Like
a
400
lot.
something people, a lot of people, right? So this is going to be your 443. Thank you, guys. Stop. And basically, you want this is going to be your kicker because the initial one is you are describing everything, but as soon as we get to we live and breathe, and you cut through, you want these to be your attention grabbing moments for your crowd of almost 450 people. I want to hear that because right now the read feels very much too intertwined in a flat way, and I think you got it. I think you got it. Just bring that up a notch, and you're good.
All right. Interesting, because I thought the turnaround point was at but. So I
Oh, you
will
can do that
make
too.
them.
Actually, you can do that
Well,
too.
no, we'll try it your way because that'll be interesting to hear. So let me just make a few tweaks. Um, all right, got it.
Children,
Anything
please.
else?
No, let's go for it whenever you guys are ready.
All right.
Whenever you're ready. What have I?
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in just 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Give me a different take on they don't have our mindset.
All right. They don't have our mindset.
No, be really, really confident. That is your selling point.
But they don't have our mindset.
Mindset is still what you want to emphasize. You don't want to
Oh.
shift it over to our, but you want to make it so that this is the golden highlight. Other people have everything else that you have. This is the one thing that sets your service apart from the whole rest of the industry is your mindset. Go into this knowing that you are highlighting the best possible thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Competitors' do's and don'ts. They do have this technology. They do have these crafts. They don't have our mindset.
Mm-hmm. All right. But they don't have our mindset.
Put it in context. So, others have this technology too. They don't have our mindset.
All right. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset.
Okay. So, others have these technology and these crafts. This is you conceding that yes, our client or our competitors do have these same things.
Mhm.
Others have this technology and these crafts, right? It's like, yes, they do. You go anywhere else, it's going to be the same computers that they have that we're running all this on.
Mhm.
But they don't have our mindset.
Mhm.
Or alternatively, you can also hit don't, but they don't have our mindset.
All right.
Do, don't.
Mhm.
Key thing. That's how I want you to present it. They do have this technology and these crafts. Yes. They don't have our mindset.
Mm.
We're getting really line ready here, but trying to make a point.
So you want me to get more away from the hand wave of the others
Yeah, no,
and
no,
make
you're,
it
you're not. You're not hand waving them.
okay.
No, you're conceding the point. The point is yes, they have these technologies.
All right,
They
you're
have
gonna
these
have to
crafts.
explain how those two are different then.
Handwave is saying this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, no, you are saying these are hard facts. They have everything that I have, but I
Gotcha. All
also
right.
have this on top of all of that.
Mhm. All right. I see now. I understand. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset.
Much better. Much better. Now, put it all together from the top.
All right. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Opening it up. What are your thoughts?
Far better, a lot more confidence.
Mhm.
I don't think that you need to do another take. That's
All right.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
So are
All
the
right, you turned it
440
around.
people. We're good.
Yes. Yeah, the 440 some odd other people.
Well, funnily enough, I do have written down that two of them don't care about my speech.
That's some Roddy levels of world building there.
Professional
Roddy
overthinker.
just rises from the depths.
I And argue against that.
Oh, no. At least he's accepting.
We've had conversations about this a lot. I'm just, you know, love you, Roddy. You're an awesome dude. All right, moving right along. James, you are up. Go for it.
All right. I am the director of the company that made this software, and they work hand in hand with medical companies like this, and they've been working closely with one particular company who has kind of stressed their pains on this clinical trial issue, and he's now presenting this to other people, other clinical trial medical companies that he wants to sell. Running multiple try that again. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
That was good. That was good. I
Yeah.
really like how you didn't necessarily speed past them as if they were not important, but you also didn't put as much focus on the technology and crafts part. You made sure that they knew that those existed, but you went by them fast enough to help people recognize the significance of the mindset part, which is your selling point.
So, James, my one major complaint about your read is that you came to grips with your character and your read and your mindset later on in the read. You started off pretty weak.
Oh, okay.
So, I need to hear you being really weighed down by running multiple concurrent clinical trials, right? Like, that's the problem. Managing multiple concurrent clinical trials is an issue, right? I need you to weigh that down.
All right.
So we built a clinical trial management system. Again, that is the product, the clinical trial management system, and solved the problem, right? I need to hear you be weighed down by the multiple clinical trials and then show us how the solution helps you.
Alrighty. Anything else? Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others had this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Are we open?
Yeah, we're open. Go for it.
Okay.
I was just checking to make sure I wasn't muted.
All right. I want to mention that I know what I said before about the technology and crafts going fast, and that was okay. But I'm starting to think that you took that and maybe took it a bit too seriously and put more emphasis on it than you should have. I believe that the technology and crafts part, you ran past it at this point faster than you should have, which devalued it in a way. And you're trying to emphasize the technology and crafts, but even more so the mindset. You want people to recognize that technology and crafts are the things that you and your competitors both have in on equal terms. But then the mindset is where you differ, and that is where you're substantially on top. So I want to hear you, instead of going technology and crafts, mindset. Instead, I want to hear you make sure that they know that those are what they have. But then make sure that they recognize that mindset blows all that out of the water.
Okay. Anything else? Alrighty. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Um, I personally think that was your strongest read so far.
Thank you.
But I'm going to open it
I
up.
was good at giving him credit. I mean, I was good at giving him words.
Good direction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I did it well apparently.
Almost
On
made me
that
do a
note-
spit take.
On that
Sorry
note
about
of
that.
feedback, I am actually going to ask us to kind of keep the feedback brief and concise because we have now hit the 2 hour mark. And I know for some people we're going to have to start, going to bed, dropping off. So if we want to get to the other readers, let's try and keep all that as concise as possible.
Okay. That being said, yes, she does speak. Again, this is something that we are attempting to do. Even though I love being on the workouts with you guys, we do need to give you guys time to go and live your lives Monday evenings. So can't ask
Yeah.
that you just stay here
Like
the
I
whole
said,
time.
I wasn't sure I was going to be like here the whole session. I'm
Well,
getting
that's
pretty
fine.
tired.
Yeah, you don't have to stick around. And again, if you can't be here, you can't. Just yeah, I have so many auditions after this. Yeah, I bet. So,
Yeah, you
James,
guys are doing really great so far. So
yeah, I think your read was fantastic. I'm cool with us moving along now, unless somebody else has anything they'd like to say. Okay, cool. Moving along, Alex, you're up.
All right. Hey everyone, I'm Jim. If you don't know me, you must be new here. I'm a senior manager in HR, but today I'm just here to highlight some of our big wins from this year. Some of you may know we had a tough deadline to meet for a major project on the research side, and our R&D team came up with an exemplary solution. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work. We cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay.
Love the investment. Totally believed you were that character. I totally believed everything you said. Very, very solid, unless somebody says otherwise.
Yeah, I will actually. Because I think being part of the HR department versus actually in the research department separated you a little too much from your subject.
Okay.
So it was a flowery and nice presentation, but it wasn't a very personally engaging one.
Okay.
So Jim from HR suddenly got a job change and is now on the research team, and has been for the last couple of years.
All right.
So
Was there anything in particular about the delivery that didn't work because of this?
well, so the thing is your delivery itself was fine. Your character was just too disconnected from your subject. You were talking about other people's triumphs, right? Even though you were part of the company, you were talking other people's triumphs. You need to talk about your own. This is your triumph. You faced this issue, you solved this issue,
Sure.
not your company. You.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. So, now I'm the senior director of research. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work. We cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Any thoughts?
That one seemed faster to me. Like a little too much faster.
David
Felt more
says, I
connection
felt
with the
more
first
of a
sentence.
connection with the
Okay.
first sentence.
So here's the deal. I liked the way that you were starting on this, Alex, but you dropped off with your triumph.
Okay.
So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Versus and solved the problem in 8 weeks.
Sure.
That's your main point. You drop that off.
Okay.
Also, you hit you really hard on the second to last sentence. It should be up and running. That should be the emphasis there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that I had done that. Sounds good.
Well, hopefully.
Anything else?
Let's hear it.
Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work. We cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Overall, I personally really liked your mindset and your approach this time around. You sounded much more professional and much more confident. You changed you changed and at the very end to we. So you said we
Yes.
cut through the noise.
I actually did that on all of my reads. I've changed that line.
Okay. Okay. For what reason?
I didn't feel that it flowed right with those two middle lines cut out to keep the and. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise felt wrong to me. And also, when I was doing the original character, I had a very easy time envisioning we cut through the noise to get you up and running fast as the company the statement, the mission statement. It has that sort of feel. I can change it back to and if you need.
I can see where you're coming from on that. I think and can still work, but I'm going
Okay.
to open it up. What did you guys think of that read? Do you guys have any thoughts, any opinions on it?
They didn't have any.
Clearly.
It's
All
nice
right.
whenever you hear crickets.
All right. Well, then, if nobody has anything, then let's go ahead and get. Yes, thank you for that.
Why did I have to say that?
Let's go ahead and get one more read from the top from you.
All right, now we'll change that last one. Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
In my opinion, I think you put it all together there really, really
Okay.
well. I really like that read, but I'm
Cool.
going to open it up. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it kept the flow. You didn't drop off in what was going on there, and then I think the pacing was pretty good too.
Cool.
What?
What?
Who and why?
I want to say for the Twitch viewer who said that they are in HR and HR would not be involved in this. My original character Jim even the name is actually a person from my company, the director of HR, who does this sort of stuff. He goes up and tells the stories of the accomplishments of every team at our quarterly meetings.
Every HR is different. Well, still, yeah, I think that this read was your best so far, and
All right.
definitely improved from where you began with. It sounded much more connected.
All right, works for me.
I don't know why I muted myself. Anyway, moving right along. Cassidy, you're up.
Cassidy, it's your turn.
Did we lose Cassidy?
I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
Welcome
No
back to the land
worries.
of the living. All good.
Are you
I
okay?
just
Good to go?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give us an overview of your character and who you're talking to, and then give us a read.
All right. So hmm, yeah, I don't have much corporate experience. Um yeah, the only thing that comes to mind is like some ads that I've seen like on my phone. But that's not really a character.
Yeah, your character is going to have their own experience with this. Have you ever talked to professionals?
I really haven't.
Okay. Have you ever heard professionals talking to professionals? Like maybe on
I mean,
podcasts or on like TV shows or things like that?
I guess it's just like I don't really get anything from them. It's just like this sort of standard, I don't know. Like there's just
Okay, so it
not
seems like you're perceiving some sense of corporate speak. So maybe just,
yeah,
but
but like that's
okay,
not what
maybe
we want here. I mean, yes, it's corporate, but like
Why don't you just give us a quick interpretation, your idea of what corporate is, even if it's
Yeah.
not what we're looking for here, and then we can move you in a different direction.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Go for it. Just give us a take, whatever you've got, and we'll start directing you.
all right. Just give me one sec.
You control the stoplight. All good.
Had to blow my nose and did not want to blow your eardrums out. Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
You know, funny enough, even without like a clear defined mindset of what you wanted to do with it, you approached it with some confidence, and that's most of what we were looking for. So you're most of the way there, actually.
Huh.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that that's honestly like one of the better selling points for this is just approaching it confidently. If you can't do anything else with it, then just yeah, this is what it is. This wasn't working. We built a solution. It worked. Other people have this stuff, but they don't have us, right? And you approaching it with that confidence actually helped out with a really solid base. I'm going to open it up though. What did you guys think of that read?
yeah, I mean, I thought I thought there's a sort of sense of pride in your work, right? I think that's what you're trying to establish here. You're not even trying to necessarily say, "Hey, these guys are bad." It's just like, no, we're built different, right? It's like,
We built different.
right?
Yeah, you're definitely on the right track, Cassidy.
Didn't expect that.
Eyes, I see you're unmuted.
Oh,
Is that what you
okay.
want to say?
Yeah. So this is a very good running a starting run already. I want you to keep that confidence, but now, Cassidy, it's gonna. I want to see how your read's gonna go now. If you try to emphasize certain words in your read, because from the last read, confident all throughout, but it was one note. Now, let's see what happens if you take your time, play around with the script, look for these tone changes throughout it, so you have a better punchy selling point as you go through your second take of the entire thing. Because I think you're on the right track.
So to give you something specific to work on that front, think of our mindset. We live and breathe this work and get you up and running fast. Those are the areas you'd really want to emphasize. So, whenever you're ready, Cassidy, let's hear it again.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Yeah, okay, opening it up. Thoughts? Impressions?
Very solid all the way through.
About the only thing I think might boost you already sound really confident in this. Just to give it that little extra kiss of confidence, slow down just a touch.
Yeah.
And that might, because usually if you know what you're talking about, you're not afraid to pause and let people think about what you just said for a second. Let it sink in a little bit before you continue on to the next thought.
So to add on top of that, another great tip I can give you is this one I learned from Papa Mike over here. The power of silence, a little bit of a pause, a micro pause, to get people's attention to what you are saying. You can play around with that in the script as well, especially when you hit. But they don't have our mindset. As you go through that, you can try to sell certain words. You can try to grab the audience's attention with your sales. You're already there. Slow it down. Slow it down. Use a bit of silence. Use a bit of that micro pause. Emphasize some words to catch your audience's attention, and I think you will have an improved read.
Yeah, adding those pauses in is going to be a matter of your own personal interpretation. But yeah, I'd like to hear you give us the read that you gave us before. Just slow it down.
I had a little bit of a question because it's starting to sound more like tips that you'd give to someone who's like giving a speech, and I'm not sure if it's like analogous or
Yeah, somewhat
Pretty
actually.
similar.
Yeah, it actually is really similar, particularly with corporate narration, because again, you need to. Corporate is always going to be business to business, whether it's sales or presentations. It's always going to be business to business, which means it needs to be professional, which means it needs to be enunciated and presented really, really solidly, really well. So yeah, actually, it is. It's very analogous to giving just a speech in front of people.
Okay.
All right, Cassidy, whenever you're ready, let's hear you slow it down just a bit more.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, opening it up. What are some thoughts?
I like it.
I think the only thing I can maybe nitpick is emphasizing the "you" before up and running, but
No.
um,
Nope. No, no, no. Because that's too disconnected. That's too salesy. And get you up and running fast. Versus and get you up and running fast. I would just be
Did-
really careful about that.
yeah, I really like the reading of the they don't have our mindset.
Yes.
And I like the live and breathe. I think you followed through with that sort of delivery. I think that was super cool. Yeah, the inflection was strong. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. 100% agree with all that. Cassidy, again, you got some good instincts. Like, I think that's how we're going to need to approach some of these in the future is just let's see where your instincts are and then nudge you along from there because you were really, really close right off the bat. It just, you needed those tiny little adjustments to make it all the way there. All right.
Thank you.
Good on ya. Let's go ahead and move this along to Mr. Gray.
Good evening. I'm not much of a corporate guy, but my vision is basically a couple of people standing around the bubbler talking to each other. And maybe somebody's complaining about clinical trials, and this guy's like, aha, my opportunity to tell you about what I did. And maybe hopefully it would go down the trail and get other people to sign up. So kind of like selling an app. That's where I'm going with it. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Now, others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Opening it up. What did you guys think?
Okay, keep in mind, I ran out of breath halfway through.
It felt a little quick to me. I really liked the inflection on fast. I think that's the first time I've heard somebody say it that way tonight, and it really hit it in a special way without really hitting it hard. Like, oh, this is salesy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
think
mean,
that's all I got for now. Is just
I'm so curious if
slow it down
that
a bit.
speed can work. 'Cause it almost felt like just a different approach. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like that would help you with some of your breath control and some of that, so you don't feel like you're having to get all of it out in one single breath. But it's an
Mr. Gray,
interesting flow.
what is your experience with voiceover?
I worked in radio, and I used to be a front runner of a horror audio drama podcast.
Nice.
And so
Okay.
my voice work is just I'm a dork in the basement that likes to make scary sounds and talk.
Okay.
You know, I
Okay.
can totally hear you narrating some sort of horror thing.
Yeah, that's my specialty.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not a
Well,
smoker too. That's the best part, huh?
so here's the deal. I like the way that you're approaching this for the most part. But I don't hear much emotional connection to what it is that you're saying. So, what I mean is your pacing and your tone relatively, like it just generally is pretty good. But at the very beginning, you're just kind of being informative. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem. And then you kind of gave in 8 weeks a little something. Um, you need to turn up your emotional engagement there. I need to hear that multiple concurrent clinical trials is very inconvenient to you, and that the clinical trial management system solved your problem in 8 weeks. Right? Like that's actually an accomplishment.
I copy. I understand.
Um, I think again, for the most part, the rest of it, I think was all right. It's just I need to hear that contrast at the beginning. Anybody else? Does anybody else have anything? Okay. Well then, whenever you're ready, from the top, let's hear it.
Yes, sir. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Now others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. And we live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. I can
think
tell
I
that
kind
little.
of think I kind of ran through the last part.
That's a
Oh,
violation of
that's
the
right.
Dan
Violation.
rule.
My
That's
bad.
one of
That's
the
right.
rules. That's one of the rules, please. But yeah, I think that flub up that you had at the very beginning threw you off because you started ad-libbing a little bit more to it. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. You kind of got yourself back on track, but there was a little bit of a flub up there that messed you up, and that you started ad-libbing a bit in. If this is your triumph, I need you to be confident in it. Like, this is what happened. This is awesome. That's what I really want to get from you from the first sentence. Again, everything else, you're pretty much right on track. I'm totally down with it, but it's that first sentence that seems to be throwing you off. At least that's my opinion on it. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add or say, or that I missed?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't want to sound like you're like drunkenly celebrating to your thing. It reminds me of the like Rick and Morty thing where he's just like, "Oh, I had a speech written down and I threw it out." No, you know what? You're not improvising this. You want to sound like this is very, yeah, you've been waiting to very prepared, sort of. But I guess without sounding too salesy, right? So it's some sort of balance. Maybe you're on too much of the casual, maybe impromptu side. You have to bring it a little bit more in line to make it sound more, I guess, prepared.
You know
Don't
what?
mind me. I'm just thinking. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So going back to your initial character reaction or your initial character, you and some other people are standing around the bubbler and chatting. Well, you're really looking to brag about this. Like, this is something cool. Like, maybe one guy's like, yeah, this weekend I went on a little bit of a hike, which it was all right. I had some fun. Yeah, I sat around and watched TV all weekend. Oh, me? Yeah, well, I did something friggin' awesome. That's the approach I want to hear from you. I just want to see what that does to this read.
Copy.
From the top, whenever you're ready.
It would help if I push down the button, right? I'm sorry. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Now, others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Oh, I loved it.
Wow.
That was so much better. That was so much better. All right, I think braggadocious Mr. Gray is kind of what you need to tap into for corporate narration. That really worked for you.
Appreciate it.
Insert some mattress for music for that one because that was comfy.
No, yeah. Again, I think just altering that little bit about your character, that you actually just wanted to get this out there. Yeah, that put you right where you needed to be. I liked it.
And it was pretty subtle too.
Yeah, it really was.
wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't super in your face either. So You
That's
didn't
what sells
overly
it.
course correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what sells it. It was subtle enough, but you can see how confident the characterization was when Gray went through the lines, especially when Gray hit technology and these crafts. That was beautiful. Please mark what you did there, because that right there is a very good sell.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Appreciate that.
100%. 100%. Awesome. Well, let's move it right along then, shall we? We're on a roll. You did great. Now, Johan, you're up next. Let's see what you got.
Okay, so the idea I had for this character was that he's a freelance researcher hired by this company to, try and solve this problem they're having with clinical trials. And he's in a room with 43 people. He counted each individual person so he could try to get to know him, or, yeah, try to account for that. Uh, Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, opening it up. What did you guys think of that read? Whoa, hey, slow down there. Not everybody at once.
It was a little fast. That's what I noticed.
Okay.
I liked when he went the technology all the way to mindset, the way that the inflections and is almost you could hear the confidence in the way that it was delivered. I like that little chunk there. The others have this technology, but they don't have our mindset. That little chunk.
So, Johan, just so that I know where you're coming from, what is your experience with voiceover?
Voiceover, I do have some theater experience, but I'm pretty
Okay.
new to this.
Okay. Okay. So stage acting, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. You don't have any like on-screen practice training or anything like that.
No, none of that at all.
Okay. Okay. And you haven't done any kind of like coursework or classes for voiceover or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay. So, from what I understand from theater, I only did like theater when I was in high school, so please forgive me if I'm completely out of touch here. But you really have to be a little bit, or not a little bit, you really have to be over emotive in your emotions for people
Mhm.
to see that way in the back, right? You're always kind of playing to the people as far back as possible, right? Getting a thumbs up from Roddy. I'm not, but
I was
um,
gonna say it seemed a little overly subtle, at
yeah,
least in the first half.
Okay.
yeah. So, again, I want to hear your um, multiple concurrent clinical trials. Let's really make that be more burdensome to you, right? Like you more work that I really don't want to have to do.
Yeah, okay.
So we built a
I'll try
clinical
that.
trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Like this is freaking cool,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's what I want to hear
Yeah.
from you. I want to see. I want to see what that's how that's going to come from you. Because the rest of it, again, I think that first sentence has been one of the biggest issues for everybody so far. So, um, let's hear that emotional contrast.
All right. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks.
Okay, I'm going to stop you
Others
right
have
there.
this
I'm
tech.
going to stop you
Nope.
right there. So you started off with a long R, running multiple.
Yeah, I
You're
did
starting
notice.
off on the wrong foot. We need you to be
Okay.
confident. Yeah, it's becoming too animated. You're
Yeah.
becoming too much of a separated character from this whole thing. So running multiple concurrent clinical trials
Yeah,
wasn't
I
working.
think that did come from some hesitation
Yeah.
before the reading.
And the thing is if you start off that way, if you start off on the wrong foot, you deliver on the wrong foot. This
Yeah.
is why, for many people, it's really, really important to do a lead in. Give yourself a little micro scene just beforehand. Like, hey, or I get it, right? Something to sort of set the acting motor running before you even hit the script. So that is a technique that you could use, but I would like for you to attack this from the very beginning with confidence. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, opening it up. What did you guys think of that one?
I mean, I really heard the and on these crafts, and these crafts get really punched. But otherwise, I think it's a lot better.
Yeah, I try to slow it down a little bit.
Okay, anyone else? Anything else? Okay. Yeah, I think now you're in a better mindset because you are approaching this with a lot more confidence. Just control the pace more. If you slow it down, you're going to bring that confidence up quite a bit more.
All right, slow it down.
Slow it down a bit.
Keep this confidence. It's taking me a minute to get back into this mindset.
That's fine. You don't need to explain it. Take as long as you need.
Mm-hmm. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. You gave us the exact same read as last time.
Yeah.
Beat for beat, the exact same read. Okay. So when we think of somebody, when we think of confidence, how is that person going to behave? Well, when something bothers them or when something is burdensome and it brings them down, I think they get a little bit frustrated at that, right?
Mhm.
Like, instead of being like, oh man, they're like, oh, geez. Right? Do you see the difference there?
I do. Mhm.
It's just like, all right, we got to get to work. So, that's the disappointed approach that I'm looking for with that very first half of the first sentence. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. It's just too much work. It's a waste of time. It wasn't working. So, we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? Do you see where
I
that
see it. Yeah,
confidence is
yeah.
coming from? Yeah, I want you to tap into that. Try it from the top. Let's just do the first sentence.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. Was running multiple clinical trials wasn't working.
Everything all right over there?
Running. What was that?
Everything all right?
Yeah. I'm just internalizing a lot of this right now.
Okay.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working.
Give yourself a lead in. Listen, running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. Or, hey, I get it. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working.
Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay, opening it up. What did you guys think?
So based on your read, the confidence is there. I want you to keep that, right? So but I noticed when you were going through this read, um I personally did felt like it was just strung along. Your voice was strung along by the script itself. Do pace yourself, slow down a little bit. You already have the tonality set for your read. It's already up there, and that's good. But now, I feel like you're being dragged on by the script. I would suggest try to slow down and don't let the script control you. You control the script. Play around with this. You have a lot of time to have fun with this. So take your time, slow it down, and I think we have a good read. We have a solid read coming out of you.
Gotcha. Okay. running multiple con- running multiple concurrent clinical multiple concurrent clinical. Okay. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. I can see you're trying to change your emphasis at the very, very beginning. Um, this is why I'm saying you should give yourself an audible lead in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to help you. If you really want to start off with some kind of control of the situation, your audible lead in should be something like, "Listen to me." All right? Because that automatically puts you in the mindset of controlling the situation, controlling what's being spoken of. Listen to me. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. Have you heard CEOs like speak about what they do?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Um, that might be actually a fun character study for you, because you could use a lot of that in more confident characters in other places. But when CEOs and people of like higher up in like the corporate world, when they speak, it's very focused on action and result. So those are the things that interest them: action and result. So the action was running multiple concurrent clinical trials, and the result is that it wasn't working. So when something isn't working, that is unfavorable. You need to paint that way. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So, and again, whenever there's a problem, it's not defeat, it's you need an alternate approach. So, we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. We found a solution. Now it's no longer a problem. What wasn't working is. Are you feeling a little overwhelmed with this?
Um, I feel like as I go on, I'm starting to lose track of my original goal, and
Yeah,
I might need to.
that's what it sounds like, and that's
Mhm.
okay. That happens. That
Yeah.
happens. That's perfectly fine. There is feedback overload, and I think we've kind of reached that point. But if you want to stick around, we can get back to your read afterwards if you can stay with us.
I'll actually have to leave pretty soon, but yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Well, you're always welcome to come back. And if you want to give this another try on your own time where you're separate from everybody else, please feel free to send in an MP3 to the feedback Dropbox and we'll give you some feedback on it.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, for now, let's go ahead and move it along to McShapeshifter.
Okay. Can I be heard fine? All right. So for my character, it's this CEO who's, proposing their company and their business to a board of investors. Right now, the investors are asking multiple questions or raising concerns, like how, like there are many businesses that are like this, like don't these products need a lot of trials and such. And right now, the CEO is trying to answer those concerns. Okay, so good question. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
You know, if you were going for the more executive CEO style of read, you certainly hit that very, very closely. Starting off with a strong idea of your character allowed you to get there pretty quickly. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, it's a nitpick. You overemphasized 8 weeks.
Okay.
So I think you can bring the emphasis on that. I mean, you can still emphasize it, but don't be like 8 weeks, right?
Okay.
And solve the problem in 8 weeks.
In 8 weeks. Okay.
Read them and weep, right? You know, that kind of feel.
Okay.
But I would say that I think that's probably the only change you would need to make.
All right.
Does anybody else have anything?
I agree with most of your points, actually. It felt like a very corporate read already, so I want to see the adjustments and then see where McShapeshifter takes it.
Okay. Good question. Running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working, so we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
I'm happy with it. That was really solid.
Wasn't
wanna
here
hear
to hear the last one, but that was really good. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, you're good, you're good. My bad, my bad. So I want to hear a B take on just we live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast. You am it's a nitpick just like Michael's. I want to personally hear what happens if you go through the last 3 lines just a little bit slower, and especially if you sell and cut through the noise to get you up and running.
Okay, so
Se-
slower.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, slower and sell the last line before fast.
All right, let's hear
Okay.
it.
We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Well, Eyes, did you get what you wanted?
Cut through the noise was still a little fast. Play with that. Play with that line, because I think this is a take I could send to a client. So, yeah. So I would say, slow that down a bit more, just that one, because I noticed you rushed through that one before you hit fast. Fast is good. Cut through the noise. Slow it down. Slow it down.
Try
This is your big. Yeah.
McShapeshifter
wonder-
to assist with that. Try emphasizing through.
Okay.
We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise.
Okay. So I'll repeat live and breathe as well, like that line too, or just the
Yes,
last line.
yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Use it as your pre-life. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe you
We
can
live.
even
Oh, sorry.
Maybe
y-
you can
y-
even give a space between noise and two. I don't know. Maybe you can give a little pause. That might help.
okay, okay, okay. I'll see. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Okay. Highs. I'm
Yeah.
putting you on the spot for this one because you wanted these beat takes. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm the nitpicky one. It is slowed down. Yeah, I think I'm Gucci with that one. I'm Gucci with that. Pack it and ship it.
Cool.
Yay, yay.
Moving it right
Funny enough,
along.
actually, I was wondering, is there such a thing as being too? It felt almost too aggressive, but I don't know if I'm just reading into something, but it almost felt like we live and breathe this work and cut through the like it almost felt really like I don't know why I was hearing such an emphatic. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, there is such a thing as being a bit too aggressive, but the thing is when it comes to voiceover, you kind of have to be really aggressive for it to be too aggressive. I don't know if
Okay.
that would be too
Okay.
aggressive in this situation, just because it's the corporate world, and the corporate world is
Okay.
already kind of that way, you know?
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
If I may, I do apologize. My kids are yelling at me. I have to take off. This is my
No
first
problem.
time here. I'm brand new to the Discord channel. So thanks for having me.
Welcome.
And I'll be happily aggressively horrific next time.
Let's
Well, hey,
go.
thanks for
Let's-
being here, Mr. Gray. You take it
We'll have to
easy, and
bring
we'll
up
see you
word
next time.
script.
Green one.
Stay epic. Bye.
He's so cool.
I'm trying to remember. Oh man, can you imagine him with that Bloodborne one? That would be sick.
We might have to bring that back.
That would be sick.
All right, let's move it right along. Mike, you are up.
Somebody say Bloodborne. I need to get a PS5.
Bloodborne.
I
So good.
played it
Favorite game of
once.
all time.
Mine as well.
Right.
But I can't get access to it because PC, they don't like us.
That's a vibe. That's a vibe. That's a vibe.
All right, let us know your character and then give us a read.
All right. So my character is an R&D presenter, so somebody that has been doing these clinical trials, just talking to some other R&D people, probably over lunch, or it might be a small conference room with like 6 people in it at most or something. So this is more intimate read. Listen, running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
So I've just got to know, Mike, for your work, how frequently do you give these kinds of presentations on your breakthroughs and your discoveries and things like that?
I almost never give.
Oh, you.
presentations like this. I'm the person that goes in, does the work, and like, here's the results. All right,
Yeah.
bye.
And you just leave the presentation to someone else entirely.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm
Okay.
not the lead. Here you go, lead. You take it from here.
I want
So, yeah,
I want to
this
hear
one.
a read like that, please. That'd be fun.
Just super throwaway.
Well, hang on. Let's get this this read down right first, and then we can start having fun with it. All right, but we'll mark that read. Thing is I need you to approach this with more confidence and a little slower.
Yeah, I feel like the thing that really maybe like set off an alarm in my head was hearing. So we built a clinical trial management system, like the yeah, speak like,
Like
yeah, I
a
don't think you're.
question. So
I don't
we
think that's
built like a
allowed.
management system or something.
I didn't even
and,
notice
like,
I
I
did
mean,
that.
I think people
don't know
liked
what
it
it
because it
is.
solved the problem in 8 weeks. You know, like, it's pretty good. So
I wish I could. I mean, I feel like that would be so good for like a Silicon Bro. Like,
no, but yeah. So just like, hey, this running multiple concurrent clinical trials sucks. So we built a management system and solved it. It doesn't suck. Again, it's that first sentence. I need some more contrast on it, and yeah, and I need you to slow the roll just a little bit.
So you're saying like more disappointment in that first sentence then?
Not disappointment. I need you to be more in control of the situation. You sound
Okay.
like the subordinate. You sound like you're talking to the higher up. And in this case, you are the higher up. You are the authority here
Okay.
on this subject.
Gotcha. All right. Understood, I think. We shall see.
You want to sound like you're correct. You're right. There's no questioning.
It wasn't working. How dare you think otherwise? All right. Listen, running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
All right, what are your thoughts?
I felt like the first lines worked for me. I was questioning if it's a little if the rest of the script was a little bit too fast, but I think it was fine for me.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other thoughts? You got a semi thumbs up from Roddy. I couldn't tell if it was a thumb sideways or a thumbs up. Or, it's
Yeah,
just
he's,
okay.
he's doing he's doing the
it's all right.
Caesar. He's
Got it.
like
Yeah.
up, down. Yeah.
Feed him to the lions.
Yeah, you see, for me, I could tell that you approach this with a little bit more confidence. You have a really interesting approach to confidence, though. Your brand of confidence comes off really differently than what I'd expect from other people, but that's not to say that it's any lesser. It's just different. So, I thought it was really interesting how you decided to approach this. How frequently at your work are you the lead of a project?
I am not at that level yet.
You're not at that level.
So
Okay.
never. I'm curious,
So,
what is my like confidence read versus what you expected? Because I can't like
well,
realize
it's so the thing is this is one of those things where it comes to branding. Like your brand of confidence, what you did with this last read is just it was different. It was confident just in your own way. It's really difficult to describe, which is why I would say the best way that I could put it is that it's branded confidence. It's your branded confidence. Take it easy. Okay, well, already gone.
I mean, it might. I'm trying to see if I could describe it because it might be a sense of there isn't a sense of this very putting emphasis and really trying to stick the point. It sounds really casual, I think. But
Yeah, it's a casual confidence.
yeah.
Okay, that might also be coming from when I like set up my script. I was like almost it's at lunch, like almost unofficial business with
Okay.
the other people. So
At lunch.
that
Okay.
is kind of I was like it's either lunch in a conference room or literally you're at a restaurant with people trying to be friendly but corporate at the same time.
Yeah,
Interesting.
let's go ahead and change your setting. It's during work hours and you're the team lead on this.
Okay.
So you're presenting this
So we're
to
not
like
chums anymore.
no, you're not chums. No, definitely. You are presenting this to others in your peer group. So they're not above you, they're not below you. They're on your they're in your peer group, but you have a sizable team under you that you've been working on this on or with.
Okay. So more matter of fact. There we go.
Yeah, let's do that.
Gotcha. All right. Listen, team, running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system and solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Hey, the
Okay.
gesticulation, getting to see you on camera, that helps.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
Thing is though, is it sounded more like you were talking to your team versus your peers.
Okay. Yes, I was talking.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, what I mentioned is that you need to talk to your peers, other team leads.
Gotcha. Okay. So they can understand the problem. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I was coming
yes.
at it the wrong way then. All right. Listen, running multiple concurrent. Listen, running multiple concurrent clinical trials wasn't working. So we built a clinical trial management system, and we've solved the problem in 8 weeks. Others have this technology and these crafts, but they don't have our mindset. We live and breathe this work and cut through the noise to get you up and running fast.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Okay.
That's more like what I wanted to
So
do.
I just had the wrong starting point for all these.
But I mean, that's and that happens. That happens. But you had a solid starting point, and you delivered on that. We just needed to alter it, and that's kind of the main thing when it comes to these scripts that don't have direction in it. You have to make your own. You have to choose something, and you have to go with it. Now, in terms of like self-directing this, when you're listening back, you want to compare what you're hearing with what you've written down, what you've noted for yourself as a choice. And I think in just changing who you're talking to, not necessarily, well, no, yeah, we basically completely altered what your decision was from the beginning.
So we like who you are, but change all of that.
I like you, Mike, but your choices, man, we had to change the whole thing from the ground
This
up.
is brilliant, but I like this.
Yeah, basically.
This is brilliant, but throughout everything you think about life, reconsider everything.
I mean, this is good, but it sucks. We're gonna have to completely redo it. No, you stuck with your choices, which is a fantastic thing to do. We needed to alter them to get you into a more confident space, but you've gotten there, and that was a really solid delivery. Like genuinely, it was a really solid delivery.
Cool. All right, good directions on getting me to that point, I guess. Though.
Well, you delivered on it. And we have finally reached the end of our reading order, which means we are ending the streamed portion of the workout. That does not mean that the workout is over, because we still have a few people to get to. For those of you who are watching us later on, thank you so much for being here. The Discord link is down below. Once again, thank you to all of our supporters over on Coffee. You guys mean the world to us, and we're working hard to try to get you everything that we can to make you guys a success this year. Stay tuned for more news. We may have some special guests coming up. Stuff is in the works. And we will see you when we're on next. Take care. Bye.